Hello, this is the next part of the video where after I create the API. Now we're gonna connect that API to the front end. I'm gonna show that how this can happen on a React front end application where I have already that Hacker News application. However, practically is better for me because this is building the full stack, and now this is the part of the front end. I'm gonna show on this application how you can connect with API, and I'm gonna make another create using create app to show how you can attach a new one, which I think is better because this Hacker News is completely for other purposes, and this is gonna be only like a class library, not class library, but like library for me, and that's why I'm gonna use it for library, for methods, for different stuff, and that's why I let this application in. Okay, now first thing first. Now I'm gonna start my application, the library management, and I'm gonna check the API. Now the API is /API, and I'm looking at members. Now this is unprotected API because I'm not logged in and I have access API. However, later on I'm gonna look to protect this one as well. This is gonna happen with identity server. Anyway, let's crack this. I have the application started, and it's here. Now okay, now looking at the Solution Explorer, my application and app.js, I still have my Hacker News API. Now I have to comment this out, or not comment this out, but change the path. Now this path is now the API path, and I'm gonna put that path here. Now the next step, okay, I'm gonna save now, and I'm gonna line 4023 default query, why this in white, search term. Search term, default query. I don't know if this is actually, I don't know why this is like that. This should be a different color. Let me try to restart Visual Studio. Now I'm gonna gonna start Visual Studio again. Let's IntelliJ pick it up. Okay, default query. Oh, error. I see it now. Okay. Now I expect a different errors in the application. So now default query is Redux. Yeah. Now looks much better. Now we don't need why this search term is here. Default query. I'm gonna rewrite this constructor, because what I found is this constructor is not really good for adapting to my application, and I make another file after researching for fetch, and my constructor gonna be very simple. Now we only load the items, we don't need any complicated stuff. Now the application is working, but is nothing loading, because if I inspect the element, I'm gonna see cross origin request blocked, and this is what takes me a ridiculous amount of time to find out how to sort this out. However, Microsoft are very well prepared for that one, and this is on docs, microsoft.com, ASP.NET Core, security and cores. I read all that, and we have to add in the middleware some code in our application. Now I'm gonna start again. However, this code, adding code in C# is not like in the React, because I have to start and stop the server every time. Now let me check the API members. Okay, books, let's say books. Yeah, we have it, and the server is running. However, is not loading any information, because my server is not giving that information on cross origin. Now I'm gonna stop the server, and I'm gonna work in the startup. Now this I've just added here. This is one of the changes. The next changes is to add cores, which is this one, in configure services. Now I'm gonna do configure services, and I'm gonna add course here. Looks very weird. Indentation looks very weird for me, but Microsoft even did it that way, so who am I to change it? Now the next step is this one, and this is gonna be the difference between some .NET versions, because in identity server documentation they've add this course, but they don't use this. So this is gonna make the application work. They put it straight here. Now this is, I've commented this out before that, because I've tried it, and I put it here. Now I can delete this code just to make my code clean. And that's it. I don't have that caching. That's why I didn't comment this out, because I didn't find it. Maybe it's for other reasons there. Now I'm gonna start the server, and let's see what we're gonna come up. As I said before, the application is Hacker News, and it was different, but here the idea behind is to give API on the front end on that React application, which is Hacker News. I'm gonna do another application with Create React as well. Let me see if the API is working now. API / members. Okay, the API is here, and the API is working. Now I don't know. Let me try then. We have some error here. We have some unresolved .NET packages errors. Let me see my NuGet packages, because as soon as I brought that React front-end application, I got some packages which are weird. We have 6 updates. Okay, probably this may cause some issues. Okay, now we still have that 6 warnings in hand. Now localhost 3000, and we are on localhost 3000 but without HTTP. Let me try again to run the server. Now we have that cross origin again, which is very weird. I'm gonna start application again. Okay. Now I probably missed something in the startup. Now what's the difference? Allow any header and allow any method, which I didn't done. So this is going to be, this is the difference, that we allow the headers and the method, and I'm still gonna use that because I don't know why they say here. I pick it up after a lot of reading. Yeah, I've picked up this one in my application. Okay, now let's add the course, app.use course. And save it. Now I'm gonna debug. Sounds very weird, but just a couple of hours ago was working the same way. I'm doing it now. Okay. Let me check my code. Yeah, I have to fetch the data as well. I forgot this one. Now component did mount. This is very standard. This is very standard stuff. And I'm gonna use the same API address as I did both. Now network error. I have to change this because it's no longer title. This is now ID, for name. Let's see what we have in the API. For name, let's say address. And this is gonna be post code. Cross origin request blocked again. And type error, network error when attempting to fetch a resource. Very weird. I made something wrong here, maybe in the startup. Okay, let's keep reading the documentation. Now, course with named policy and middleware. Course middleware handles cross-origin requests. The following code applies a course policy to all the apps endpoints with specified origin. No. And we're gonna add see the policy name. Course with default policy and middleware. App.use course. What's the difference between the following? Highlight code and enable the default course. Now calls the user course extension method and specifies the my specific origins course policy dot users adds. the course middleware, and the code to use course must be placed after use routing but before use authorization. Okay, for more information, add course with a lambda expression. The lambda takes a course policy object with endpoint routing. Let's try the default. Configure service. No. Use course. My allowed. And routing. Let's try now. Okay, the application is working. The API is working. Now ASP.NET .identity application will be centered as cross-site cookie against localhost, because now it's maybe working. Okay, let's see my app.js. Pad base. Pad base is okay. Then we have this one. Cookie. I think we have cookies problems. Add cookie. Let's add cookie. Let me see if yeah. Now I know I'm just debugging at the moment, but this thing was actually working a couple of hours ago, and now it's very weird for me to not work. Now we have let's see the network query course missing a lower again. Read. Refer. Okay. Let's see if that thing makes any difference. Okay. No. Let's make some changes here. Probably I make some mistakes here in the code or some typo or something, because that's what I don't like with React, is when you make a typo or something, it's not telling you anything. Like this default query, now it's dim. Now, looking at the code, this /, it might be the problem, and let's try to run the application again. Now we don't have cross-origin problem anymore, and because our application is only for certain API, and the idea behind this application is different. However, this application is very good example for most of the stuff you're gonna need in React. Not most, but a lot of stuff which you're gonna need in React, a lot of methods which are typical and you're gonna use in every application. Now I have to start change some code here in app.js. Now I see update hits, because this is different now. I have to comment it. Doesn't serve any purpose. Now updated hits, which is line 101. That is not defined. Okay, now we have to just remove it. Okay, now we got it. Now we have our application communicating with the API, and this is very good progress for me. As well, I just want to mention here that this now can be make working, and is not really that much work on it. However, I'm gonna do something else. Now this, as I said in the beginning, this application is very good example for React application in my point of view. Now, because this is building a stack, and we are more or less microservice oriented. Now what I want to do is I want to make another create react app using create react app new application. And because I did that before, I did this very simple fetch method, and I just return the API, and this is gonna how we can build our microservices. I'm not making any like wow websites, just I'm gonna make another application which I'm gonna add here, and I'm gonna add it with PowerShell. I'm just ignoring Visual Studio in a minute, and here we're going to library management. I'm gonna make another, let's say members front end, because in my understanding now, the microservices we're gonna have front or let's say service for every page or every controller, because it's not okay. I have to make that folder first. No. This is nothing. Now I'm going to create the application. Create React app, and I'm going to give the name. The name is going to be members frontend project, because of naming convention. Oh yeah, we can't have capital letters. That weird naming conventions. Members frontend. Okay, I'm gonna build the application, and there's no space left on device. What? To be insufficient space in your system to finish. Clear up some disk space. This is something very weird. Let me check. Come on, this is not serious. Aborting npm install. Deleting. Okay. Empty. Create React app. How big is this app? What the hell? I'll try again. Installing packages. This might take a couple of minutes. Installing React DOM and React script with CRA templates. So they want to install the templates. Maybe I have to be in administrator mode. Maybe. create React of minus version. Yeah. Okay, this is something very weird. Or maybe the application is maybe because of Git or something, I don't know, it's not allowing me to install these packages. I'm just gonna make it straight in repos. I'm gonna make this folder. Create React app. Members. No space. This is very weird. Now what I found is very weird. I don't have space because the log files, and you can find these logs files in Windows temp, and you just delete the log files from npm, and they don't have any like maybe for someone they are important. For me they don't have value yet, so you may wanna delete them if you have the same error. Now this is doing the application now, and I'm gonna connect this application to library management again, and I'm gonna show how I'm gonna connect my API again. I can do that meanwhile, by the way, while doing the application. While this is working, I can change some code in the startup. Now, as we see before, we can just add comma, and we can add another origin, which is gonna be localhost. Sorry, I'm gonna run it on localhost 3001, maybe. Yeah. Let's see how it goes. Just a quick disclaimer here. I didn't try this one yet. Now, okay, the application is still running, but without the server now, because I stopped the server. Now the application is ready. Happy hacking. And the application is members front end. Now, as we said before, we just add new project. The new project is gonna be existing node.js code, JavaScript or TypeScript. To be honest, I don't know. I suppose now I'm gonna add this one, members front end, and let's find the location. The location is here, so this is the location. Next, finish. Now it's gonna add it in a second. Yeah. Now we have members front end and React, which is Hacker News. Now in source we don't have anything, and I've made that simple code here. I'm just gonna delete it, and we're gonna start with importing. Import React. Next line, step by step, is we're gonna add the class. Here I've tried different options, but I'm just gonna add the value, the project value. Now this is the constructor, and component did mount is that method which everyone uses when working with API. Now this is component did mount. I'm gonna put my localhost. It's gonna be localhost 3001. Now we have the render method here, and the render is just giving you the render is just rendering the application. And now we have item.name, which in our case is going to be item.forename. And if we look close at the application, let me open the library management again. We can choose our parameters. Now I have forename, surname, and address. Let's say that's what we're gonna choose. Forename, surname, and address. And that's members front end, item forename, and item.email. Yeah, I'll leave it that way. I can make another one and another one. There is no limit. I just copy this one and I paste it here. Now I just say, I leave that as email, and I put here surname. Surname gonna be item.surname. Okay. This is localhost 3001, and that's it. That's pretty much it. Now the only problem, which I didn't try yet, is that port is already busy with the other application, and I'm not stopping it on purpose. I'm not stopping it on purpose because microservice architecture, it's gonna work that way with many ports, and we just want to overcome that problem. Now the only situation, the only thing is we have to find how to change the port. Now to change the port, we need just to add simple command in package.json, which in our situation gonna be set port 3001 and React script start. That means every time when you write down npm start, every time when you write npm start here, the application is going to start on port 3001. Now I didn't save here, that's why now I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna open the PowerShell again. Now there npm start, and now it's automatically going to localhost 3001 and the application start working. Now let me open, because I see it's not loading the API, and I think we have something wrong in the code. Now I put by mistake to fetch 3001, which is very weird. Now okay, now it's working, and our application, which is different platform, and it's different is different microservice, now is working absolutely synchronized with our server, and is getting data from the API. Now the front end and React is just a matter of code, and but now is all connected and is all working as should be. Okay, but we are not stopping here. We are not stopping here. I'm going forward, and now, because my idea was to protect the API with identity server, now my next goal is going to be to add identity server as protector of our API, and all these applications, they have to identify, or we need user to be logged in so they can have access to the API. But this is not gonna happen now because the video is too long, so I'm gonna make this in the other video. See ya.